In a valley where the wind is the only frequent visitor, there lived a man known simply as the Silent Gardener. No one in the nearby kingdom of iron remembered the sound of his voice. Some said he lost it in a great war. Others whispered that he traded it to a forest spirit in exchange for the secret of eternal life. But neither was true. He simply chose not to speak. While the world outside his valley was filled with the clanging of gears, the shouting of merchants, and the roaring of engines, his world was different. It was the world of the small things. The way a dewdrop clings to a spiderweb in the morning mist. The sound of a seed cracking open deep beneath the soil. The rhythm of the seasons. Imagine a garden that doesn't look like a garden. No straight rows. No trimmed hedges. It looked like a wild explosion of life. Sunflowers tall as trees, pumpkin vines curling like sleeping dragons, and moss so soft it felt like memory itself. The gardener was old, his face weathered like the bark of an ancient oak, his hands stained permanently with the color of the earth. He wore a simple straw hat and patched overalls. He didn't rule this garden, he served it. And if you watched him closely, really closely, you would see that he wasn't just silent. He was listening.
Citizens, the hour of progress is upon us. These plans will forge a new era.
One day, the Kingdom of Iron decided it needed a new park. The king wanted something efficient, something organized, something fast. So, he sent his royal architect to the valley. The architect was a man of noise. He walked with a heavy step. He spoke in rapid-fire sentences. He carried a clock that ticked louder than his own heart. When he arrived at the gardener's gate, he didn't knock, he shouted, "Old man, the king demands a garden. We need red roses here, perfectly straight tulips there, and we need them to bloom by the festival of gears in 3 days." The gardener looked at the architect. He didn't frown. He didn't bow. He just blinked slowly, like an owl waking up at noon. He turned his back, picked up a watering can, and walked toward a patch of dying weeds. The architect was furious. "Did you hear me? I have machines. I have fertilizers. I can force these plants to grow. Why don't you answer me?" But the gardener just poured water. Drip, drip, drip. This is where most of us live, isn't it? In the shoes of the architect. We want life to happen on our schedule. We shout at our problems. We demand our happiness to bloom right now. We fill every silence with podcasts, music, and worry because we are terrified of what we might hear if the noise stops. The architect took over. He brought in his machines. They tilled the earth violently. They pumped chemical blue liquids into the soil. They set up loudspeakers playing marching music because the architect believed plants grew better with motivation. For 2 days, the valley was filled with noise. And for 2 days, something tragic happened. The garden didn't just stop growing. It began to retreat. The giant sunflowers bowed their heads in shame. The vines turned gray and brittle. The birds stopped singing. It was as if the soul of the place had packed its bags and left. The architect panicked. He yelled at the machines. He yelled at the soil. "Grow! It is an order from the king!" But nature does not obey kings. Nature obeys only one law, the law of resonance. You cannot force a flower to open with a hammer. You cannot force a wound to heal by picking at it. The silent gardener watched all of this from his porch, sipping tea. Steam rose from his cup in a perfect spiral. He wasn't angry. He looked sad. Not for the plants, but for the man who was trying to conquer them. Finally, the machines broke. The fuel ran out. The architect, exhausted and defeated, sat in the mud. He put his head in his hands. The silence rushed back into the valley, heavy and thick. Then, the gardener stood up. He walked over to the architect. He didn't offer a hand. Instead, he handed him a single small seed. The gardener pointed to the ground. Then, he put a finger to his lips. Shoo. He gestured for the architect to sit. To just sit. And for the first time in his life, the architect stopped. He stopped planning. He stopped worrying about the deadline. He just sat in the rain. Minutes passed. Then hours. And in that silence, the architect began to hear it. Not the noise of the world, but the music of the garden. He heard the thirsty soil drinking the rain. He heard the worms turning the earth. He felt the vibration of life returning. He realized that the gardener wasn't silent because he had nothing to say. He was silent because he didn't want to interrupt the conversation the earth was already having. To grow, you don't need to add noise. You need to remove the interference. The festival came and went. The king never got his perfect rows of tulips. But the architect never went back to the city. He stayed in the valley. He learned that you cannot manage life, you can only cultivate it. So why will this story change your life? Because you are the gardener of your own soul. But right now, you are acting like the architect. You are shouting at your anxiety to go away. You are trying to hack your way to peace. You are filling every moment with noise. The silent gardener teaches us the hardest lesson of all. Trust the silence. If you are confused, stop asking for advice and sit in silence. If you are hurt, stop explaining your pain and sit in silence. If you are lost, stop running and sit in silence. The answers you are looking for are not out there in the noise. They are growing quietly, right here, waiting for you to shut up long enough to hear them bloom. Go find your garden. Turn off the machines. And just listen. Thank you for watching. May your roots go deep and your leaves reach high. This is Benny Emotive English Tales.